Ever feel like life's just too heavy? Like no matter how hard you try, you're still not enough? Have you ever reached that point where you just sit down, sigh deeply, and think, I can't keep going like this? Maybe it's in the middle of the night when everything is quiet, but your thoughts are loud. Or maybe it's during the day, at work or school, where you force a smile even though your heart feels heavy. You do everything you can to hold it all together, but deep down, you're tired. Not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, completely. And the worst part? You feel like you're the only one going through it. Like everyone else seems to have it figured out, and you're the one falling behind. You scroll through your feed and see people smiling, posting highlights, celebrating wins, and you wonder, what's wrong with me? You don't say anything out loud, of course, because people expect you to be strong, to keep going, to be reliable. But what happens when even the strong feel weak? The truth is, you're not alone, not even close. So many people carry silent battles. They show up to work, attend family gatherings, post on social media, all while quietly drowning inside. And maybe you've been doing that for a long time, smiling while breaking, laughing while hurting, showing up while barely holding on. Maybe you've been told things like, just be positive. It's not that bad. Other people have it worse. And maybe those words, instead of lifting you up, made you feel even more guilty for struggling. But here's the truth. Struggling doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. And being human means you have limits. You get tired. You carry burdens. You face fears. You feel pain. You question your worth. And yet, in the middle of all that, you are deeply, unconditionally loved by Jesus Christ. He doesn't love you because you're strong. He doesn't love you because you always get it right. He loves you as you are, broken, burdened, overwhelmed, unsure. In fact, in 2 Corinthians 12:9, Jesus says, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Let that sink in for a moment. His power is made perfect in your weakness. That means when you've come to the end of yourself, that's exactly where He begins. When your strength runs out, that's when His strength takes over. You were never meant to carry it all alone. And yet, so often we try, don't we? We think, if I just try harder, if I just push through, if I just stop feeling this way. But that doesn't work, because we're not just dealing with external pressures. We're carrying wounds inside, disappointments, losses, unmet expectations, shame, fear, insecurity. All the stuff that doesn't show up on the outside. You see, people often assume strength looks like confidence, success, or having all the answers. But true strength, Christ's strength, begins when we fall to our knees and say, Lord, I can't do this without you. And here's the beautiful part. He doesn't turn away. He doesn't say, get up and fix yourself. He says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Rest. Not judgment, not guilt, not shame. Rest. Can you imagine that? Instead of carrying the weight of perfection, resting in His presence. Instead of pretending to be okay, being honest with the one who already knows. Jesus doesn't just understand your pain. He entered into it. He wept. He felt abandoned. He was betrayed. He suffered deeply for you, so that when you suffer, you never suffer alone. He knows what it's like to be exhausted, to be misunderstood, to feel completely poured out. And yet, through it all, He never stopped loving, never stopped giving, never stopped trusting the Father. And now, He offers you that same strength. Not the kind of strength the world gives, loud, proud, and flashy, but quiet strength, gentle strength, resurrecting strength, the kind of strength that picks you up when you fall, that carries you when you can't walk, that whispers to your soul, "You're not done. I'm not finished with you yet." So if today you feel overwhelmed, know this: you are seen, you are loved, you are not forgotten, and you are not fighting this battle alone. The world might not understand your tears, but Jesus does. Your friends might not notice your silence, but Jesus does. Your heart might feel empty, but Jesus is ready to fill it. Maybe no one told you today, but you're doing better than you think. Even if you're crawling, even if you're tired, even if you're breaking, you're still here. And that means hope is still alive. So don't give up. Because Philippians chapter 4, verse 13 is not just a verse to post, it's a lifeline. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Not because you're fearless, not because you're flawless, but because He is faithful. He hasn't given up on you, and He never will. So bring Him your weakness. Bring Him your fear. Bring Him your broken heart, and let His strength rise within you. You were never meant to walk alone. Jesus is right here, and He's not letting go. Let's stop for a moment and focus on a single sentence, one that has changed lives, carried people through deep valleys, and reminded countless hearts of what's truly possible through faith. It's from the letter of St. Paul to the Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13. He writes, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Now, maybe you've heard that verse before. Maybe you've even memorized it. But today, let's slow down and really listen. Let's not just recite it, let's receive it. I can do all things. That doesn't mean you can fly or snap your fingers and make life perfect. It means you can endure, you can persevere, you can keep going, even when everything in you wants to quit. It means that nothing you face is bigger than the one who lives in you. Because Paul isn't writing this from a place of comfort. He's not sitting on a beach. He's writing this from a prison cell. He's chained, tired, possibly hungry, unsure of what tomorrow holds. And yet he says, "I can do all things." How? Not by his own strength, not by his achievements, not because everything is going well, but through Christ who strengthens me. This is the heart of the message. You see, Paul knew what it meant to be weak. He'd been beaten, shipwrecked, abandoned, rejected. He had a thorn in the flesh, some kind of pain that never left. And yet, time and time again, he got back up. He kept preaching, kept praying, kept trusting. Why? Because he wasn't relying on himself. He was relying on Christ. And here's what's incredible. That same strength, the one that sustained Paul through trials, is available to you right now. Not when you get everything together, not when you feel holy enough, but now, today, as you are. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That means you can face the day, even when anxiety says you can't. You can keep walking, even when the path is uncertain. You can forgive, even when it hurts. You can heal, even if the wound is deep. You can hope again, even if you've been disappointed before. Because Christ isn't just a source of motivation, He is the source of life. He doesn't give strength like the world does, temporary, shallow, performance-based. He gives strength that flows from His own presence, His own love, His own Spirit within you. When Jesus lives in your heart, you are never empty. You might feel weak, but you're never without power. You might feel broken, but you're never abandoned. You might feel lost, but you are still deeply known and deeply loved. And here's the key. Paul isn't saying you'll never struggle. He's saying you'll never struggle alone. With Christ in you, you will rise again. With Christ in you, you will find peace, even in the middle of the storm. With Christ in you, you will overcome temptation, fight despair, and walk through fire with courage. Why? Because He is your strength. When your energy runs out, He keeps going. When your faith wavers, He remains faithful. When you're unsure of the future, He already holds it in His hands. Philippians 4:13 is not a magic phrase. It's not a motivational poster. It's a lifeline, a spiritual anchor that reminds you, you're not the source of your strength. Jesus is. And if Jesus is your source, you'll never run dry. Even on the days when your prayers are silent tears. Even when you feel more fear than faith. Even when the mountain seems too high, the grief too heavy, or the task too great. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So let that truth sink into your soul today. Let it echo louder than your doubts. Let it drown out the lies that say you're not enough. Because the truth is, Christ in you is more than enough. You don't need to fix everything today. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take the next step and let Him carry you the rest of the way. You were never meant to be the hero of your own story. Jesus is the hero. You're the one He came to save, to strengthen, to walk with. So walk boldly, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. If you're watching this and feeling like life is too much, repeat this verse out loud. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Say it again and again, until your heart believes it, until your soul feels it, until your fear bows to faith. You're not alone. You're not forgotten. You're not weak. You are a child of God, filled with the strength of Christ Himself. Now go, walk in that strength, live in that hope, and when life gets heavy again, as it sometimes will, come back to Philippians 4:13 and remember who holds you. So, what does it look like to actually live out Philippians 4:13? How do we move from just hearing the words, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, to actually believing them when we wake up tired, face bad news, or battle our own thoughts? Here's the truth. Living with Christ's strength doesn't mean you'll always feel powerful. It means you choose to trust Him, even when you feel weak. It's not about pretending everything's okay. It's about bringing everything to Him, the mess, the fear, the confusion, and letting Him meet you right there. Let me give you something practical. The next time you feel like giving up, don't go to your phone. Don't scroll through distractions. Don't stuff it down. Instead, pause. Just for a moment. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And whisper this prayer. Jesus, I don't feel strong today, but You are. So please carry me through this moment. That's it. It doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be real. Every time you do that, you're opening the door for Christ's strength to enter. You're surrendering control and receiving peace in return. You're admitting your need and experiencing His grace. It's in those small, quiet moments that strength begins to rise. It's when you say, I'm going to show up to work even when I'm anxious, because Christ is with me. I'm going to keep praying even if I feel dry, because Christ hears me. I'm going to forgive even when it hurts, because Christ forgave me. I'm going to get out of bed today, not because I feel strong, but because He is my strength. And over time, your spirit starts to change. Not because life got easier, but because you're not carrying it alone anymore. Christ's strength is not a motivational boost. It's a sustaining power. It's what kept the saints going through persecution. It's what gave courage to martyrs and hope to widows. It's what fills the heart of every believer who says, Jesus, I trust in You. And it's available to you right now. So whatever you're facing, a financial burden, a broken relationship, a health issue, a quiet sadness you can't explain. Bring it to Jesus, all of it. You don't have to impress Him. You don't have to hide your weakness. He already knows, and He's already ready to help. Sometimes strength looks like taking a step forward. Sometimes it looks like falling to your knees in prayer. Sometimes it's just breathing and whispering His name. But in every one of those moments, He is there. And the more you lean on Him, the more your faith grows. So let's get really practical. Here are 3 simple ways to apply this daily. 1. Start your day with surrender. Before the rush, the to-do list, the news feed, start by saying, Lord, I can't do this day without You. Please be my strength. You'll be amazed at how much lighter the day feels when you don't try to carry it alone. 2. Use Philippians 4:13 as your anchor. Write it on a sticky note. Put it on your lock screen. Whisper it during your commute. Let it become the truth that rewires your thoughts. The more you say it, the more your soul starts to believe it. 3. Ask for help, from Christ and from others. Sometimes Christ strengthens us through community, friends, pastors, even strangers who remind us we're not alone. Don't isolate yourself. Reach out. Let people walk with you. Remember, this is not about being perfect. It's about being willing to trust, willing to ask, willing to lean on the one who never runs out of strength. You're not weak for needing Jesus. You're wise for turning to Him. This world is hard, but your Savior is stronger. Your burden is heavy, but His shoulders can carry it. So today, choose to trust Him. Let His strength become yours. Let His words become your anthem. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Because yes, you can keep going. Yes, you can heal. Yes, you can rise. Not because you're unbreakable, but because His love is unshakable. Keep pressing on. One step, one prayer, one breath at a time. He's with you, and He's not letting go. Friend, after everything we've talked about, the heaviness you carry, the strength you feel you've lost, the silent battles, the tears no one sees, there's one truth that still remains. Jesus is here, and He's not going anywhere. He's been with you through every sleepless night, every heartbreak, every time you whispered, Lord, I can't do this anymore. And He didn't walk away. He never said, come back when you're stronger. He said, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That's who He is. Not a distant God watching from above, but a Savior who steps into your pain, sits with you in the valley, and walks with you toward healing. So if you've been holding everything in, if you've been trying to carry it all on your own, if you've been pretending to be okay while falling apart inside, you don't have to do that anymore. Right now, in this moment, you can whisper His name and invite Him in. You don't need the perfect prayer. You don't need to clean yourself up first. You just need to be honest. Say it with me, right where you are. Jesus, I need You. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed. I've tried doing life my way, and I'm still empty. Please be my strength. Please be my peace. I surrender to You. That's it. That's the beginning of a new chapter. Not a chapter without struggle, but a chapter where you no longer struggle alone. He will walk with you, strengthen you, remind you daily, you are mine. So keep going, not because you've figured it all out, but because you've placed it all in His hands. You were never meant to be strong enough on your own. That's why Jesus came, to be your strength when you're weak, to be your hope when life gets dark, to be your light, your anchor, your Savior, So now, as we end this time together, I want you to carry this truth in your heart. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Say it with me one more time, not just with your lips, but with your soul. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Let that be your anthem, your shield, your comeback line when fear whispers, "You can't." Because Jesus already answered, "Yes, you can, with me." You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified. You are loved. You are held. You are chosen. So rise, child of God. The world needs your light. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. And the author of your life, he writes beautiful endings. Walk forward in faith. Even if it's just one step, Christ is with you, and he is more than enough.